Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Jaya
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Today is March 8th, 2026. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 9, Lord Chaitanya's travels to the holy places in South India. So yesterday we read that Mahaprabhu has returned. So after completing his South India tour, that means he went to Dandakaranya. So first he went south towards Andhra Pradesh. Then he went further south to Tamil Nadu, so there to Srirangam. So he is going to all the holy places to Srirangam, and then he went further south towards Kerala. That means towards Rameshwaram, and then now he turned back and he came via Karnataka, then Maharashtra. Then he went to Dandakaranya forest. So Dandakaranya forest again extends south, comes down. So Mahaprabhu came down and went to Rishamukha mountain, and then in Dandakaranya forest he went to Panchavati, Nasik, and finally he came back to Vidyanagar. So that's where he had started from Ramanandarai. After having conversation with Ramanandarai, Mahaprabhu had started. Now he came back to Vidyanagar to Ramanandarai's place. And Ramanandarai found out that Mahaprabhu has returned. So very blissfully he went to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He offered Dandavat obeisances, and Mahaprabhu picked him up and embraced him. And both of them went into ecstasy. And even their minds were slackened because of that prema vesha. And then after some time they made their minds stable, and then they sat down together to converse. And then Mahaprabhu told him all about his travels in South India. Mahaprabhu told him about his travels in South India. And then he also told him how he acquired the two books, Brahma Samhita and Sri Krishna Karnamrita. And he gave those to Ramanandarai. Ramanandarai was so blissful to receive those books. When Mahaprabhu gave those books, he said that whatever you have told me, that means previously when they had that discussion between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanandarai. So whatever Siddhanta you said, all that is proved in these two books. That means it is these books are the evidence of the Siddhanta that you have said. So Ramananda Rai was very blissful to receive those books, and he made copies of both those books for himself. So then Mahaprabhu said that, no. Meanwhile, others in the town also found out that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is here. Once again, he's come. So all the people, they came, they gathered there, they crowded to take darshan of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Seeing all these people, Ramananda Rai returned to his house, and Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu also got up to go and take his lunch prasadam. Then at night, Ramananda Rai returned, and they sat down to discuss Krishna Katha. They sat up all night and they discussed. And in this way, day and night, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai discussed Krishna Katha for 5 to 7 days. Then, now Ramananda Rai himself told Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu that on your order, because previously Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu had said that I am not satisfied. I want to, I want you to come to Jagannath Puri, and there I want to discuss Krishna Katha with you. So Mahaprabhu said he told Ramananda Rai, you come to Jagannath Puri. So after Mahaprabhu left, Ramananda Rai wrote a letter to the king. So that's what he's saying to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, that I wrote to the king very humbly, seeking his permission to be relieved from his responsibilities so that he can go to Jagannath Puri and just discuss Krishna Katha with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, just spend time with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So Ramananda Rai is saying that to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu now, that I wrote a letter to the king and I got reply also. The king has given me his permission to go to Nilachala. And now I'm making arrangements. That means I'm winding up things here, settling everything. So he has to pass on those responsibilities to somebody else so that somebody else will carry on his duties. So he's making arrangements for that, to be relieved from this. So then Mahaprabhu said, that's the only purpose why I came here this time. So Mahaprabhu went south and again he came back to Vidyanagar. He's saying the reason that I came here, the purpose of my coming here is to take you with me. I want to take you with me and go to Jagannath Puri. Then Ramananda Rai said, but my lord, I think you should go to Nilachala first. If you go with me, there will be horses, elephants, and a lot of commotion. So many soldiers. It's not going to be peaceful. It will be very, tumultuous. So you go ahead. And in about 10 days, I will settle everything here and I will follow you. After 10 days, I will follow you. I will start my journey. Then Mahaprabhu ordered him, you should come. And then he left Nilachala, for Nilachala, being very blissful. He was very blissful. Now Mahaprabhu followed the same path along which he had come to Vidyanagar from Jagannath Puri. He is returning also on the same path. That means now on the way back, he is seeing all the Vaishnavas that he had met before, like Kurma Brahmana and Vasudev Vipra, like that. All the devotees whom he had met, Vaishnavas that he had met while coming to Vidyanagar. On his way back, because he's following the same path, he met those devotees once again. So then we will see what happened after that. Let me share the screen. So text 337. Jaha jaye loka uṭhe hari-dhvani kori dekhi ānandita-mana hailā gaurahari. Jaha jaye, jahan Bhagwan jate the, loka uṭhe hari-dhvani kori. Loka means people. All people got up chanting Hari, Hari. So wherever Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu would go, as he's walking back, any place, wherever he would go, the people there, because they knew him already, they had seen him before. Now they're seeing that he's back. Imagine, Mahaprabhu is coming. So as soon as they would see, Hari, 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 like that, So it's like so many people, as soon as they would see him, they would just chant hari-dhvani. So Mahaprabhu is walking and he's hearing hari-dhvani. Wherever he's going, loudly people are chanting Hari Hari. Dekhi ānandita-mana hailā gaurahari. And seeing this, Mahaprabhu became very happy, very blissful that everybody's chanting Hari Hari. You see, this is Mahaprabhu's mission, isn't it? The Sankirtan movement is Mahaprabhu's mission. In this Kali Yuga, this is the only shelter. The only way is of deliverance is through chanting of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when Mahaprabhu saw wherever he would go, everybody is simply chanting Hari Hari, he became very pleased. Wherever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, the holy name of Sri Hari was vibrated. Seeing this, the Lord became very happy. ālālanāthe āsi kṛṣṇadāse pāṭhāila nityānanda-ādi nija-gaṇe bolāila. So ālālanāthe is close to Jagannath. No? Remember when Mahaprabhu came from Shantipur, from ālālanāthe, I think from ālālanāthe you can see the Sudarshan Chakra of Jagannath, Lord Jagannath's temple. So when Mahaprabhu, and also, anyway, so when Mahaprabhu came to ālālanāthe, Mahaprabhu had one servant arranged by Nityananda Prabhu called kṛṣṇadāse. We saw about that also, how he was caught by the Bhattacharys. So this kṛṣṇadāse was, and Mahaprabhu brought him back also. So this Mahaprabhu, when he arrived at ālālanāthe, he sent his servant kṛṣṇadāse to Nityananda Prabhu to inform him that Mahaprabhu has returned from his South India tour. ālālanāthe āsi kṛṣṇadāse pāṭhāila nityānanda-ādi nija-gaṇe bolāila. So Nityananda Prabhu and other personal associates were informed. So Mahaprabhu sent kṛṣṇadāse to inform Sri Nityananda Prabhu and other personal associates of Mahaprabhu about his return, that now he is in ālālanāthe. When the Lord reached ālālanāthe, he sent his assistant kṛṣṇadāse ahead to call for Nityananda Prabhu and other personal associates. prabhura āgamana śuni nityānanda-ādi uṭhe chalila preme theha nahi pai. When Nityananda Prabhu got this news about the arrival of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, prabhura āgamana śuni nityānanda-ādi uṭhe chalila. Immediately, instantly, as soon as he got this news, he just got up and he started off to go and meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Preme theha nahi pai. And he could not control his prema, his ecstasy, when he heard that Mahaprabhu has come. He could not remain patient. He couldn't stay contained. As soon as he got the news that Mahaprabhu is here, he just got up and he left immediately. And he could not, contain his ecstasy. As soon as Nityananda Prabhu received news of the arrival of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he immediately got up and started out to see him. Indeed, he was very impatient in his great ecstasy. He was impatient. He couldn't wait even a moment. So he was like, immediately, he left to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jagadananda dāmodara-paṇḍita mukunda nachiya chalila dehe nadhare ānanda. So the other associates like Jagadananda Pandit, Damodar Pandit, Mukunda, so all these devotees, nachiya chalila, they were they were in such ecstasy that Mahaprabhu has returned. They started going, dancing and dancing, they started going to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dehena dhare ānanda. They were not same thing. Their pleasure that they were experiencing in their bodies, they just could not, that means that ecstasy could not be contained within their bodies. It was just, it's like as if it's overflowing out of their bodies, like that. Dehe na dhare ānanda. The ānanda, the bliss that they were experiencing, it could not be contained in their bodies. They were just dancing and dancing in ecstasy that Mahaprabhu has come. And they also started off to go and see him. But how did they go? Dancing and dancing. Why? Because they could not contain their ānanda within their bodies. Jagadananda dāmodara-paṇḍita mukunda nachiya chalila dehe nadhore ānanda. Sri Nityananda Rai, Jagadananda, Damodar Pandit and Mukunda. So here Nityananda Prabhu is also said, although it's not there in the shloka, it is understood. Sri Nityananda Rai, Jagadananda, Damodar Pandit and Mukunda all became ecstatic in their happiness And dancing along the way, they went to meet the Lord. Gopinath Acharya, Cholila Ānandita hoya, Prabhure milila sabe, pathe lag paya. So Gopinath Acharya is the brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So he also left, went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they're all going to ālālanāthe, where Mahaprabhu is there now, to receive him. And in such ecstasy, they're going dancing and dancing. Gopinath Acharya also became very blissful and he started off, Prabhure milila sabe pathe lag paya. So all of them went and they met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and sabe pathe lag paya. So they were going towards him and the Lord was also coming from ālālanāthe. It's not that when he sent kṛṣṇadāse ahead of time, apparently Mahaprabhu is also coming, because while they were going towards ālālanāthe, on the way they met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they were all in ecstasy, dancing and dancing in ecstasy, very eagerly, impatiently. They were rushing to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when they went, they contacted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the way. On the way itself, they met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it seems that Mahaprabhu was coming and they were also going. So just in midway somewhere they met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They contacted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What happened when they met? Prabhu prema veshe sabaya koila ālingana prema veshe sabe kore ānanda-krandana. Mahaprabhu also became so ecstatic by seeing the devotees, and because he was overwhelmed in love, seeing the devotees and seeing them, immediately he ran and he embraced them. He embraced all the devotees. And the devotees also became overwhelmed in love in Mahaprabhu's embrace. And they simply started to cry in ecstasy. Prema veshe sabe kore ānanda-krandana. Out of happiness, out of ecstasy, they started crying. Mahaprabhu rushed when he saw them. He was overcome by love and he went and embraced them. Being overcome by love in Mahaprabhu's embrace, they simply started crying. The Lord was also filled with ecstatic love and he embraced them all. Out of their love, they began to cry with pleasure. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Anande Cholila Samudrera Tire Asi Prabhure Milila. Then they met first, and then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also got the news. So he started coming in great bliss to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So by that time, Mahaprabhu was already coming. So where did Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya meet Mahaprabhu? On the seashore. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was going and he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along the seashore. Samudrera tire asi prabhure milila. He met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the seashore. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also went to see the Lord with great pleasure and met him on the beach by the sea. Sarvabhauma Mahaprabhura Podila Charane Prabhu Tare Uṭhaya Koila Alingane. So when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he came, he saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He just ran and fell on the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He fell on the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you remember, when Mahaprabhu was leaving, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya just could not bear the separation of the Lord. When Mahaprabhu first told Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that he's going to go to South India, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, no, please stay for 10 days. I cannot bear your separation. So Mahaprabhu stayed back, taking prasadam, etc. in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house to prepare him, to pacify him. And then after staying for some time, then Mahaprabhu left. Even then, and when Mahaprabhu was leaving, he sent his, servant to go and get clothes for Mahaprabhu, extra pair of clothes, like that. But finally, when Mahaprabhu was leaving, he just kept walking behind Mahaprabhu. He just couldn't stop. Mahaprabhu had to tell him, don't follow me. And then he just turned around and he left without even turning back. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya fainted there out of separation. Now imagine Mahaprabhu after all these days, for how long Mahaprabhu traveled in South India? It's not like he went for 1 week or 10 days. For 6 years, he was gone. 6 years. He's walking throughout South India. He went all the way, imagine, from Jagannath Puri to Kerala and stopping on the way also in different holy places. And it's not just like a railway track, straight line he's going. He's visiting all the holy places while going there. Climbing mountains, going through forests, villages, and spending night wherever. Every night he would stop in wherever village, whichever village he was there, he would stop there. So like this, Mahaprabhu was gone for 6 years. Now Mahaprabhu is back. Can you imagine the ecstasy of meeting him again? So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when he saw Mahaprabhu, he just went and fell on the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu picked him up and he just tightly embraced Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Prabhu tare uthaya koila alingana. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord and the Lord pulled him up and embraced him. Prema Veshe Sarvabhauma Korila Rodane Sabha Sange Aila Prabhu Ishvara Darshane. So again, in being overcome by love, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya just started crying when Mahaprabhu embraced him. Then all Mahaprabhu, along with all the devotees, came to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. They went directly to the temple of Lord Jagannath. Prema Veshe Sarvabhauma Korila Rodane Sabha Sange Aila Prabhu Ishvara Darshane. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya cried in great ecstasy, ecstatic love. Then the Lord, accompanied by them all, went to the temple of Jagannath. Jagannatha Darshana Prema Veshe Koila Kampa Sveda Pulakashrute Sharira Bhasila. Jagannatha Darshane Prema Veshe Koila. So Mahaprabhu took darshan of Lord Jagannath. When he got darshan of Jagannath, he was overcome by prema. He was overcome by love. He was overwhelmed by love. And as a result, various ecstatic symptoms were manifest on the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kampa, his whole body was trembling. Sveda, his entire body was perspiring. Pulaka, Pulaka means there is romanch. All the hair on his body was standing on end. Ashrute, there were tears flowing from his eyes continuously. Sharira Bhasila. So his love was manifested on his body through these various symptoms. Tears coming from his eyes, body trembling, the whole body is sweating, perspiring, and all the hairs on his body stood erect when Mahaprabhu took darshan of Jagannath. Due to ecstatic love experienced upon visiting Lord Jagannath, inundations. It's not like it happened for some time and it stopped. Inundation, that means Mahaprabhu is drowned in these ecstasies. Inundations of trembling, perspiration, tears, and jubilation swept the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Bhasila means he was inundated. His whole body was inundated by these ecstatic symptoms. So it's not like a little bit. It's like oceans of these symptoms. Like that. He was drowned. He was inundated by these ecstatic symptoms by seeing Jagannath. Bahu nritya gita koilo premavishta hoya. Panda palo hailā sabe Mahaprasada loya. And then while these ecstatic symptoms were manifest, Mahaprabhu started dancing and singing a lot in front of Sri Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. Bahu nritya gita koilo prema vishta hoya. Being overcome by love, Mahaprabhu danced and sang a lot in front of Sri Jagannath. Panda pala hailā sabe mala prasada loya. And meanwhile, seeing that Mahaprabhu has returned, all the pandas, panda in Jagannath Puri, the priests and the other attendants, there are also those who control the crowd with sticks and all that, like that. So there were pujaris on the altar and also there were other attendants. So they all came to Mahaprabhu carrying garlands of Mahaprabhu, Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, Mahaprasad garlands of Jagannath and prasadam, food prasadam. So they brought a garland and they brought Mahaprasadam of Lord Jagannath to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu while he was dancing and singing in ecstasy. In ecstatic love, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu danced and chanted. At that time, all the attendants and priests came to offer him a garland and the remnants of Lord Jagannath's food. Purport. Those who are priests engaged in Lord Jagannath's service are called pandas or pandits, and they are brahmanas. The attendant who looked after the temple's external affairs are called phalas. Yes. So those attendants who look after the external affairs, like cleaning the temple and, managing the crowd, etc. Right? Those who take care of external affairs, they are called phalas. And then, of course, pandas or the pandits, right? Those who are worshipping, they're the priests, worshipping and cooking for the Lord, like that. So those who are priests engaged in Lord Jagannath's service are called pandas or pandits. They are brahmanas. The attendants who look after the temple's external affairs are called phalas. The priests and attendants went together to see Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Mala prasada paya prabhu susthira hoila jagannathe rasevaka saba anande milila. Mala prasada paya prabhu susthira hoila. You see, Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy and he was, there were all these ecstatic symptoms on his body and he was singing and dancing uncontrollably. But when they came and they offered him the garland and gave him Mahaprasad, Mahaprabhu became stable again, composed. That means he came to external consciousness. Jagannathera Sevaka Sabha Anande Milila. And he met the servants of Lord Jagannath in Ananda, in bliss. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu became patient after receiving the garland and prasadam of Lord Jagannath. After the servants of Lord Jagannath met Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, all the servants of Lord Jagannath met Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu with great pleasure. So, Mahaprabhu received the garland and Mahaprasadam, and the servants came forward and met Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, greeted him like that. They met him with great pleasure. Kashi Mishra Asi Prabhura Podila Charane Manya Kori Prabhutare Koila Alingane. Kashi Mishra and Govinda, they were constantly with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Kashi Mishra would, they were actually sent by Ishwar Puri. Kashi Mishra and Govinda, Sri Govinda, they are the god brothers actually of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. They are the disciples of Ishwar Puri. So they were sent by Ishwar Puri to serve Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So initially Mahaprabhu would not accept the service because he said, how can I accept service from my god brothers? You can accept service from your disciples, but how can you, they'll be his personal servants. How can you accept service from your god brother? So he said, no, I cannot take. But then their argument was, this is the instruction of this is the order of their guru. They have to carry out the order of guru. Everyone has to carry out the order of guru. So that's how Mahaprabhu finally accepted their service. So what was the service of Govinda? He would be the personal servant. That means massaging the Lord's body, serving him prasadam and everything, all his personal services. Kashi Mishra was the bodyguard. He was a big built person. So whenever Mahaprabhu would go to take darshan of Jagannath in the temple, Kashi Mishra would be there stopping the crowds from bumping into Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu or just, trying to get his dust or whatever, so he was there managing the crowd. He would be like guarding Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Kashi Mishra. So then now Mahaprabhu is in Jagannath temple and he's taking darshan. So Kashi Mishra came. Immediately he fell on the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. One thing that we should remember is these devotees were there with Mahaprabhu constantly all the time. And Mahaprabhu was gone for 6 years now and he's coming back. So you can imagine. Not only that, that is still for us, I'm just saying from a material perspective, that you're with someone for... This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Added to that, they were all the personal associates of the Lord in separation from him for all this time. Now when the Lord came back, what are their emotions? And what are his emotions? Kashi Mishra asi prabhura podila charane. Manya kori prabhu tare koila alingan. Kashi Mishra came and immediately fell on the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Mahaprabhu picked him up and embraced him. Manya kore, with great respect. Why? God brother. So Kashi Mishra came and fell on the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu because he is the servant of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. But how is Mahaprabhu seeing? He is accepting the service because it's the order of the spiritual master. However, he's seeing him as my God brother. So with great respect, he picked him up. He picked him up with great respect. Manya kori. And then he embraced him. Mahaprabhu always followed the etiquette. Perfect etiquette. Even in his Grihastha ashram, he would follow the etiquette of a Grihastha very, very strictly. He would never even look at women. If they're coming on the road while he's walking, he would walk on the other side, respecting them. Women should be honored. Mahaprabhu was very jovial, cracking jokes, imitating the accent of East Bengal, Bengali. And everybody would just laugh. But he would never crack jokes on women. Never tease. Never, ever. Even though he was so, he was a very jovial person as a Grihastha. Very funny and all that. But not with women. He would be very, very respectful. So he always followed the etiquette. That's the point. So here also, Kashi Mishra came and fell down on his feet. It doesn't say that he pulled him up and he just embraced him. Like with other devotees. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, it said he just pulled him up and he embraced him. But when Kashi Mishra fell, he just said, Manya kori. With respect, he picked him up with respect and he embraced him. Afterwards, Kashi Mishra came and fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord and the Lord respectfully embraced him. Prabhu loya sarvabhauma nija-gaṇe gela, mora ghare bhiksha kori nimantrana koila. Now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he's like just waiting. So he said, you come to my house, you have to take prasadam in my house. Remember, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is also, he was, I think like the in charge of the Jagannath temple. So he also gets, he arranges for Jagannath's Mahaprasad, not just for Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, but for all the devotees. He'll arrange for Jagannath's prasadam to be brought. So, Prabhu Loya Sarvabhauma nija-gaṇe gela. Taking Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya went to his own house. If you have been to Jagannath Puri, you will see it is near the temple. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house is close to the temple. Because he's an officer there, right? He's the person in charge there. So it's nearby, very close. You can actually see from there, you can see the temple. So Prabhu Loya Sarvabhauma nija-gaṇe gela. He went to his house, taking Sri Chaitanya Prabhu with him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with him. Mora ghare bhiksha boli nimantrana koila. He invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You should take prasadam in my house now. He invited. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then took the Lord with him to his home, saying, today's luncheon will be at my home. In this way, he invited the Lord. So obviously, he'll feed the Lord and all the devotees also. Divya Mahaprasada, Aneka Ānāila Aneka. Lot of transcendental Mahaprasad he arranged to be brought from Jagannath temple. Divya Mahaprasada, Aneka Ānāila Pitha Paya Adi Jagannatha hailā. What type of Mahaprasad? So many. Even the sweets, there's famous. You get pitha. It's made with chana, like paneer, but like chana, soft paneer. So it's like a cake made of paneer, sweet cake, made with just paneer and sugar. So pitha paya adi ādi, not just pitha, but many other sweets that are served to Jagannath. So whatever was eaten by Jagannath, that was served to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Pitha paya adi hailā. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya brought various types of food remnants that had been left by Lord Jagannath. He brought all kinds of cakes and condensed milk preparations. Madhyana Korila Prabhu nija-gaṇe loya Sarvabhauma ghare bhiksha korila asiya. So at noon, Prabhu nija-gaṇe loya. So Mahaprabhu, whenever he went with his associates. Of course, sometimes Advaita Acharya tricks and, he made Mahaprabhu come alone. But otherwise, when Mahaprabhu went, because he's a sannyasi, so many other sannyasis would go also with him. Sannyasis don't cook. They're just invited or they just beg for prasad. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, with him 20 sannyasis would go like that. So Madhyana Korila Prabhu nija-gaṇe loya, taking his associates, Mahaprabhu went Sarvabhauma ghare bhiksha korila asiya. He went to Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house along with his associates to accept lunch prasada. Accompanied by all his associates, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house and took his noon lunch there. Diksha koraya tare kṛṣṇadāse shayana apane sarvabhauma kore pada samvahan. So after serving Mahaprabhu lunch, after Mahaprabhu finished eating, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya arranged for Mahaprabhu's rest. After taking lunch in the afternoon, traditionally people take rest for some time. In the night, when you take dinner, you're not supposed to sleep immediately after eating. You should wait for, that's why you have to take early dinner. Before, by sunset, you should eat. But it doesn't mean you sleep at sunset. You finish by sunset and then you sleep later. That means there is still activity after you eat. You walk and you do different things. That's for evening. But lunchtime, right after eating, you sleep. You take some rest. That is the system. So after feeding, you give rest to the deities also, isn't it? After lunch, arti and then rest. Like that. So if you see in villages, this system is followed. After lunch, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, everything will be silent. Even shops are closed down. Shops won't be open. It's just, it'll be like silent, ekdam quiet. And once again, from 4:30 to 5 onwards, once again, they'll start opening their shops and everything and hustle bustle will start. So here, after serving lunch to Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya arranged for his nap, shayan, rest. And while Mahaprabhu was laying down, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya personally was massaging the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After offering food to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya made him lie down to rest and he personally began to massage the legs of the Lord. Mahaprabhu walked so much, so he's massaging his legs so that he'll get some rest. Prabhu tare pāṭhāila bhojana korite sei ratri tara ghore rohila tara prite. But when he was massaging, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was massaging Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet. Mahaprabhu said, no, you should go and take your lunch. Go and take your lunch. And to please Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu stayed in the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that night. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya arranged for Mahaprabhu's residence. I think his sister's house or something. That means the house was vacant. It was not being used and it's very close to the temple. With all arrangements and everything. When Mahaprabhu first came, he sent Gopinath Acharya with Mahaprabhu to show his residence. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was so eager, was in so much separation to make him happy, to please him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed that night in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. Sei ratri tara ghore rohila tara prite, for his pleasure. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then sent Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to take his lunch and the Lord remained that night in his home just to please him. Sarvabhauma sange ara loya nija-gaṇe tirtha yatra katha kohi koila jagarana. So Mahaprabhu spent that night in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. You can imagine if Mahaprabhu is staying, obviously all his associates will also be there. And it's not like Mahaprabhu is just sleeping. Now a little rested. You can imagine in the evening after lunch, after some rest, they just sat down together and Mahaprabhu was telling them all about his travels in South India, where he went and whom he met and what happened, the books that he got, everything he started telling. So Mahaprabhu and all his associates were in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house all night long. They didn't sleep. Tirtha Yatra Katha Kohi Koilo Jagaran. He was telling about his Tirtha Yatra, his pilgrimage, and he stayed up all night telling them what happened during his pilgrimage. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates remained with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. They all stayed awake the entire night as the Lord spoke of his pilgrimage. Prabhu kohe eta tirtha koilum paryatana toma sabha vaishnavana dekhilum eka jana. So Mahaprabhu is saying, eta tirtha koilum paryatana. So I went to so many holy places. I traveled. Paryatan means ghumna, right? So I traveled to so many holy places. Toma sama Vaishnava na dekhilum ek jan. Mahaprabhu, like he knows how to endear himself to the devotees. And it's not like he's flattering or something. He's saying in genuinely, but he's saying, I went to so many holy places. I traveled to so many holy places and I met so many Vaishnavas. I've not met one Vaishnava who's equal to you. Not one Vaishnava I have met who's like you, who's equal to you. Toma sama Vaishnava na dekhilum ekajan. Not one person I saw like you. The Lord told Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, I have traveled to so many holy places, but I could not find a Vaishnava as good as you anywhere. Eka Ramanandaraya bahu sukha dilo, bhatta kohe ei lagi minite kohilo. Now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was the one who told him that you should meet when you go to South India. He said, so at first he was feeling so much separation that Mahaprabhu would go. Then after Mahaprabhu stayed with him for some time and convinced him and he agreed. At that time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, I have one request. When you go to South India, you should meet Ramananda Rai. He's such a great Vaishnava. So it was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya who told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about Ramananda Rai that he should meet. So now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, I have met so many devotees, but I haven't met even one devotee who's like you. That means who's as good as you. But he's saying, Eka Ramananda Rai bahu sukha dilo. There's one Ramananda Rai, he made me, he gave me so much pleasure. He gave me so much happiness. Bahu sukha dilo. Bhatta kohe ei lagi milite kohila. Then when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, that is why I told you you should meet Ramananda Rai. That means I knew you would really enjoy his company because he's such an exalted devotee, right? So, Bhatta kohe ei lagi milite kohilo. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I received much pleasure from the talks of Ramananda Rai. The Bhattacharya replied, for this reason I requested that you meet him. In Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya, beginning of the 8th act, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sarvabhauma, I have traveled to many holy places, but I cannot find a Vaishnava as good as you anywhere. However, I must admit that Ramananda Rai is wonderful. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, and also see, of course, these are all eternal associates of Krishna, but I'm saying something to learn. Learn means just to note, to appreciate the qualities of these devotees. Mahaprabhu said, Sarvabhauma, in other words, you are the best devotee, isn't it? I traveled everywhere. I met so many devotees. I haven't met anyone like you. Can you imagine how happy Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya must be feeling? Oh, wow, Mahaprabhu likes me so much, right? But then, of course, I must admit, Ramananda Rai is very wonderful. That means, except for Ramananda Rai. So, what would you expect normally? You're really good, but this person is, आपके टक्कर का है. He's as good as you. Or, he's really good, like that. So then maybe you'll feel like, that person is my competitor now. One with a material consciousness might feel like this. But how did Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya feel? Of course, that is why I told you, you should see him. He's such a great devotee. By the way, even when Mahaprabhu glorifies somebody, these devotees never ever feel like they are so great. They are completely convinced that this is just Mahaprabhu's mercy, just to make the devotees happy. He says these things, but actually, we have no qualification. We are not devotees. They don't consider themselves as devotees at all. What to speak of anyone else? Even Srimati Radharani, the topmost devotee, she never thinks she has any devotion. Then everyone else in the entire creation, whatever bhakti they have, is coming from her only. If she is feeling like that, what about others? So, therefore, I am speaking from a material perspective. From the material, those who are in this material world, when you are given some honor and respect, even devotees still in the conditioned state, right? When you're recognized by the spiritual master and you're praised by the spiritual master. Oh wow, Jai, auspicious disappearance day of Ramananda Rai yesterday. Thank you, Madhya. And actually, in our reading also, all this while Mahaprabhu was going to so many places yesterday and day before. Because for you, yesterday, for us, it will be day before. Mahaprabhu came back to Vidyanagar and he met Sri Ramananda Rai. And yesterday's class was all about the conversation between Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. This is called the Lord's mercy. So, from material perspective, in the conditioned state, this jealousy or all these things will be there. But as one becomes pure, as one advances in Krishna consciousness, this envy will not be there. Rather, you'll become so happy when you see another Vaishnava is being praised by the Supreme Lord. How glorious is this devotee? How fortunate is this devotee? Seeing that, you'll become very happy. We see this time and again in Mahaprabhu's pastimes, in the dealings of Mahaprabhu's devotees. We see this again and again. They become very jubilant to hear another devotee becoming very dear to the Lord. When someone is very dear to the Lord, all the Vaishnavas celebrate it so much, seeing the good fortune of that devotee. So here Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying, therefore, my Lord, that is why I told you to go and see him. Yes, he's such a great Vaishnava. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then says, there are, of course, many Vaishnavas in these holy places and most of them worship Lord Narayan. Remember, Sri Venkat Bhatta, for example. Others who are called Tattvavadis are also Lakshmi Narayan worshippers. Tattvavadis in Udupi, they are also Lakshmi Narayan worshippers. But they do not belong to the pure Vaishnava cult. There are many worshippers of Lord Shiva and there are also many atheists. Remember Buddhist. Mahaprabhu had that, discussion with that Buddhist Acharya. So there are also many atheists. Regardless, my dear Bhattacharya, I very much like Ramananda Rai and his opinions. What a compliment this is. What a compliment. It is normal to praise someone in front of you. Oh, you are such a wonderful devotee. I appreciate you. But if the Lord or a senior Vaishnava is glorifying some devotee in his absence, you should understand. You should understand the glory of that devotee. The Lord is not saying to please that devotee. He's actually revealing his heart to another devotee, praising a particular devotee. That devotee is so good. That's a real compliment. That's a great compliment. Yes? So he's saying, my dear Bhattacharya, I very much like Ramananda Rai and his opinions. So that's why we have a whole chapter of the discussion between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then says, there are, of course, many Vaishnavas in these holy places and most of them worship Lord Narayan. Remember, Sri Venkat Bhatta, for example. Others who are called Tattvavadis are also Lakshmi Narayan worshippers. Tirtha Yatra Katha Ei Koilum Samapana. Now Srila Kṛṣṇadāse Kaviraj Goswami is telling us. In this way, I am concluding the South India travels of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Tirtha Yatra Katha Ei Koilum Samapana. Sankshepe Kohilum Vistara Na Jai Varnana. And he is saying, I have simply told you in brief. It's not possible to give the details. I mean, how voluminous would the book become if he gave all the details? So he said, I just gave you a gist. I just gave you in brief, I've just told you about the Lord's South India tour. And now I'm concluding Mahaprabhu's tour or his tour to the holy places of South India. I'm concluding that now. I've only told you in brief because it is not possible to describe in detail. Thus, I have ended my narration about Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's pilgrimage, describing it in brief. It cannot be described very broadly. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur points out that in the 74th verse of this chapter, it is stated that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu visited the temple of Shiyali Bhairavi, but actually at Shiyali, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu visited the temple of Sri Bhuvaraha. Bhuvaraha means Varahadev and Bhudevi. That means Mother Earth. Shiyali Bhairavi temple, but Mahaprabhu was actually visiting Sri Bhuvaraha. Near Shiyali and Chidambaram, there is a temple known as Sri Mushnam. In this temple, there is a deity of Sri Bhuvaraha. In the jurisdiction of Chidambaram, there is a district known as Southern Arkata. The town of Shiyali is in that district. There is a temple of Sri Bhuvarahadev nearby, not Bhairavi Devi. This is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's conclusion. Because you see, Mahaprabhu said, I visited so many places. There are many types of worshippers. You know, there are atheists, there are worshippers of Lakshmi Narayan, there are worshippers of Lord Shiva, similarly worshippers of Goddess Durga, Goddess Kali, like that. So that is why here it is said, Mahaprabhu visited Shiyali Bhairavi. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is stressing here, emphasizing that Mahaprabhu actually didn't visit Shiyali Bhairavi temple. He visited Bhuvaraha temple, Lord Varahadev's temple. And the details are given. Ananta Chaitanya Lila kohite na jani, lobhe lajja khaya tara, kori tana tani. Mahaprabhu's leelas are ananta. Is there any limit to the leelas of Mahaprabhu? Is it possible for anyone to describe all leelas of Mahaprabhu? Ananta Chaitanya Leela, kohite na jani. And I don't know how to speak also. Mahaprabhu's leelas are unlimited. I don't know how to describe them. Lobhe, you know, but I have this greed. Lajja khaya tara, kori tana tani. So, out of greed, I become shameless. You know, when you're greedy, like if your greed is stronger than your worry that what will people think, and, you know, you feel ashamed, right? So many times, even if you want something, log kya sochenge? Thinking like that, you don't act on it, right? Let's say you actually have a desire to eat 5 gulab jamuns, but you will only accept one because, oh, it won't look good if I eat so many, isn't it? For example, I'm saying. So therefore, out of shame, even if you have greed, you don't act. But if you're really greedy and you don't care what people think, because your greed is taking the upper hand, then what you will do? You will just go and eat. You don't care what people think. I need to get that. So like that, Srila Kṛṣṇadāse Kaviraj Goswami is saying, lobh hai, because my greed is so intense, lajja khaya, right? I became shameless. Lajja ko kha liya. Mane, I didn't care for shame, right? So not caring what people will think and not caring for shame, being ashamed, becoming shameless. Lajja kha lena matlab becoming shameless. Out of greed, becoming shameless, I am attempting tana tani, matlab thoda bahut jo bhi koshish kar raha hu. Like, you know, I don't know how to speak, but still because I have this greed, Because when you don't know, you shouldn't do, isn't it? It'll look so awkward. जैसे आपको नाचने नहीं आता है, you don't know how to dance. Then will you go and dance on the stage? No, it'll look awkward. But if you're really happy, you don't care what people say, but you want to express your happiness, you just start dancing somehow or other, isn't it? So like that, lobh hai. I have this greed to glorify, to speak, to chant the glories of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, to sing the glories of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, even though I don't know how to do it. His leelas are ananta, and I have no capacity to sing of them. But I have this greed. So because of this greed, I become shameless. And even though I don't know, still I attempt to sing of Mahaprabhu's glories. Who's saying this? Srila kṛṣṇadāse Kaviraj Goswami. Just look at his humility and the message that we are getting. So what can we speak? The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are unlimited. No one can properly describe his activities. Yet I make the attempt out of greed. This but reveals my shamelessness. Prabhura Tirtha Yatra Katha Shune Je Jana. Now, Phala-shruti. What will you get by hearing about this chapter, this 9th chapter? Not just 9th chapter, the previous 8th chapter is also part of South India only. Mahaprabhu's talks with Ramananda Rai. And before that also, going to all the temples, Kurmagrama and Jiyada Narasimha, right? So, started in 7th chapter itself, 7, 8, 9. Mahaprabhu's travels in South India. Prabhura Tirtha Yatra Kotha Shune Jai Jana. Those people who hear Mahaprabhu's travels to South India. Caitanya Charane Paya Gadha Prema Dhana. You will get the wealth of condensed love for Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. That's the benediction. Prabhura Tirtha Yatra Kotha Shune Jai Jana. Whoever hears about Mahaprabhu's Tirtha Yatra, travels to the holy places. Caitanya Charane Pai Gadha Prema Dhana. He will get Gadha Prema Dhana, the wealth of condensed love for the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Whoever hears of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's pilgrimage to various holy places attains the riches of very deep ecstatic love. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks, the impersonalists imagine. Okay, I think I'll stop here. We will read the purport tomorrow. I was thinking it will just end here. It's already time. I know it's late for you also. We will continue this tomorrow. But as you can see, we have come to the conclusion of this chapter. I have a great desire to just read, but I will probably do it like a recording because it will be during my daytime here. So it will be very late for you. But I just want to read the translations of each section of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and just keep it there because it's easy to hear, you know, for myself also. You may not always have the book in front of you to read, but you can hear it while doing other things. So I want to do that. Like we did it on Gaur Purnima. We started reading the Adi Leela. We read, I think we read 7 chapters. There is 17 chapters there. But Madhya Leela, this is an ocean of nectar, you know. So, like in sections, like Mahaprabhu's travels to South India, that's one section. Like that, I would like to read. So maybe I'll do it sometime. With Krishna's mercy, Mahaprabhu's mercy. We will end here today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your association. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srila kṛṣṇadāse Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Thank you.